Hello, art friends. This is Shanna. I'm coming to you from the art table today, and I'm working on a couple things that I thought I would share with you. First of all, this sketchbook is a wild and crazy place, I can tell you that much. But the other day, I made these little, actually, I think I made a video about this, but I didn't post it yet. I don't know, maybe I will. Anyway, I made these little collage hearts, and I found this page in this sketchbook that was sort of unfinished, although I actually kind of just like it how it is. But this sketchbook is where I just do crazy things, and maybe I come back to a page after a while. Anyway, I put these hearts on this page. I thought they would look good on this page, and I was right, I think. So I don't actually want to glue them in here because I want to make like an actual painting that's not in a sketchbook. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on my little crazy journaling where you can't read what I have written, but it is meaningful to me when I'm writing it. I just write it in a way that cannot be, it's illegible, obviously, if you can't tell. Okay, so that's what I did on this page under here. I did my illegible writing, and then I painted on top of it, and then I popped these hearts on, and I'm like, that is just so cute, and I need more of this in my life. So I am going to finish my journaling on this page. I'm using, I don't recommend this, but this is actually a chalkboard marker, I think. I'm pretty sure, actually, it is. It's not permanent, so when I paint over top of this, it's going to lift some of the color from the marker. These are not necessarily meant to be used on paper, but yeah, they're like chalk markers. So I have bought a whole bunch of these. It's a long story, but I do use them for this purpose. I think I have other pages where I did that right. I don't think that's it. Anyway, it'll come off on your hands if you, like, this is a chalk marker. See how it's coming off on my hand? So it's not really the greatest thing to be using in a sketchbook unless you're going to paint over it. So, but with that said, you could use a Tombow marker, you could use a gel pen, you could use a regular pen. It just, you could try different things. You could use, what else? Yeah, like a Posca marker or any kind of acrylic paint pen. Now, personally, I don't like to use I have some brush tip acrylic markers, and I find I don't like writing with those. I like writing with a nib, so that's why I've been using these. All right, I am talking for way too long about this, but what I'm going to do is show you along the way how I go about this, and so I'll be back. This is editing, Shanna, and I don't know what happened to this segment, but the next few minutes I lost the audio. I'm like editing this video, and I was just kind of watching it through to make sure I didn't say anything ridiculous, and the audio is gone. So I have no idea what I was talking about, but in this little segment, I am obviously perhaps painting over my journal writing, and I am taping down the page to a cardboard backing from a watercolor block, just excuse me, so it doesn't shift around too much. So I'm just painting over it, and I'm trying to match as best as I can the page from my sketchbook. So I'm not going to talk through this whole thing because I don't really know what to say as a voiceover, but bear with me for the next few minutes, and my audio is going to come back after I finish painting this page once I move on to the next thing that I'm working on. Just to let you know, I am speeding up this part of the video since I lost the audio. As you can see, I'm just going to use some pink, white, and quinacridone magenta to cover this page. So there you go. This is like the most editing that I'll probably ever do, but it's good. It's good to be able to do that. So I'll catch up with you in 1 minute. I could also, okay, so I'm kind of picking up from a project I was doing the other day that I actually recorded. I think this was, oh yeah, okay, so I recorded painting this background for my little heart collage, and the thing is, I was inspired by originally, I'm trying to adjust my window blind so that more light is coming in. Anyway, I wanted to do it like this because I really just thought that popped and looked cute. But when I painted this, it just came out too dark. And for some reason, these little hearts didn't quite look it didn't look like this, I guess. So I'm going to paint over this one again, just to lighten it up a bit. I'll probably do that in a little bit. But as usual for my brain, I feel pulled in many different directions. But I think that's something probably that happens to all of us. And I think it's really, honestly, a skill to resist the urge to do everything all the time. And I guess that's sort of my challenge for the week, because I've been, I think, trying to do everything and failing miserably at it because, oh, that is cute. I like those little dots. You can't do everything all the time. And that's just the reality. I'm going to flip this over and look at these pink colors. I'm just going to do little dots on there. Yeah, so sometimes you have to pick and choose in life what realistically you are capable of doing and willing to do, because anything you're doing, you are sacrificing something else you could be doing, right? And I got a little crazy this week and tried to do way too much, and my body, I got a migraine for the first time in like a really long time, and I've worked very hard to not be a victim of the migraine. That's a whole nother story for another day, I think. But yeah, I got a migraine for the first time in quite a while. That was unpleasant, but in my mind, I know that it was just my body telling me, hey, you need to slow the heck down. This is too much. You can't do it all. All right, so let's see if I can manage to lighten up this page without completely losing. Oh yes, that's nice already. I like that. I don't want to lose what's underneath of, oh, sorry about that noise. I kind of don't mind if there's a little like dry brush effect going on in here. All right. And you know, when I record videos for YouTube, I don't really feel the same like scattered craziness as I do if I try to make videos for Instagram or TikTok, which I mean, I don't even know if I want to continue posting on either of those platforms, but I've been experimenting with them. I think really my favorite thing is just coming on YouTube and Taking a deep breath, I'm just going to compare this side by side to see if I achieved my goal. I would say that I did. And actually, I'm going to make this is just gesso. Let's make this white pop a little bit more. And to me, getting the migraine was just a sign. It was just like information. It wasn't the end of the world. I'm not freaking out. I just know that I have to realize that I have limitations. Yeah, it's true. Okay. Next up, well, I think I'll just go a little farther with this. And then this has to dry, and I think I will glue my little hearts on next. I need to refresh one of my paint. I have like 3 jars of water for my paintbrush cleaning, mainly because when I paint with watercolors, I need to get my brush really clean, and my art area is upstairs, and so I have to go downstairs to I don't dump my waters down the drain. I take them outside. So I have to take the jar downstairs, take it outside, refill it. So if I have like 3 waters, then I don't have to do it as often. And I can always have 1 water jar that is super clean and good for watercolor. So, all right. I don't know. I don't think it's light enough, but I think it's funny because, like, you would think that this background over here would be so easy to recreate, but it's really not. It's not how, it's just not how it works. It really doesn't. Try to recreate an abstract and I should have just ripped that page out of there and glued the hearts. I don't know. I'm crazy. I'm just being crazy, I think. But my intention was to make a painting that wasn't in a sketchbook so that it could be framed. But yeah, ripping that page out and just framing it would have, there's nothing on the back of it that's important. So, oh man, look at that craziness. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm being extra about this. So maybe these hearts really just belong on this page and I'm being absolutely ridiculous because you're probably looking at this thinking, Shanna, it's the same color. Stop being ridiculous. So that's just how it is when you're working on art. I think sometimes in your brain things get wild sometimes and you have to learn how to like wrangle that craziness a little bit. I made an executive decision here. I am going to glue the hearts in the sketchbook like my little heart desires. I am then going to make a new page of these guys to put on the loose sheet of paper that I'm letting dry right now. I always use just a basic Elmer's glue stick for this because it just works. It works and it makes it so that your paper doesn't start buckling and getting all wild and crazy. And I like it. I like it. It doesn't have to be some kind of like super professional product. You can just use a glue stick. I'm just going to close that up to put that on there. And, oh dear, I have to find that page again. Where is it? Maybe I shouldn't do that so I don't have to like open up the page every time or find my page every time. So I'm going for it. I'm putting down the hearts
They want to be in here. I can tell. That's what they're saying. That's what they're telling me. I feel like I need to make sure where I'm putting these before I think that works. And honestly, I don't really care if they go down like completely, like this one's like lifted up a little bit. I don't really, it's in a sketchbook. It doesn't matter. And plus, even in so, like, I think it gives it a little personality if it's not like 100% flat, like perfectly put down. It gives a little personality. If you save the back of your watercolor blocks, like the cardboard backing, those are so great for so many things. I would highly recommend saving those. You can tape your painting to them. You can use them as like a thing to protect your table if you're doing glue sticks or anything else. That way you don't mess up your surface, your table. I mean, obviously my table is completely wild and crazy and painted, so I don't really care about that necessarily, but I don't know. This is just nice to get stuff on without having to worry about the table getting all dirty. Painting my table was like, I'm just going to go ahead and say a genius move, because I feel like what I'm doing pops so much more in terms of like just the quality of the video and the contrast. So I love that I painted that table. It was super fun. There you go. I did the thing, I made the painting, and I think it's so cute. I think it would actually look amazing framed. And if I don't come up with one that I like more, I may actually just take this out of the sketchbook, because look at the back of it. I mean, come on. There's no reason I should feel precious about this, except, you know, it will mess with it's attached to this page next to it in the signature. You can see the stitching in the middle. So it will compromise this page. It will be likely to fall out if I don't do it. Well, it may just be likely to happen, period, end of story. But, you know, it's like, do I care? Could I just rip this whole thing out? Yes, I could. But depending on where it is in the book, like, you know, this page is connected to a page now a few pages back. So, like, if I wanted to cut this out, which I don't because it's, hey, you know what? I had fun making it. That's all I'm going to say. But if I wanted to cut this out, then I would be compromising whatever page it's attached to, which is actually this page. So, you know, the way these books are put together, that's just the way it is. I don't know. If you want your book to remain intact, don't do ridiculous things like rip pages out, because that's how I ruined, well, I won't say ruined, but that's how I messed up one of my sketchbooks, my little Coddy sketchbook. I'm looking for it. This is not it, but I have one of these that's actually full and done, and I cut a page out, and then another page like elsewhere in the book is now not attached. So that's what happens. Just things to be aware of, depending on how OCD you are about these things. I'm not really, but you know, everyone's different. And as I'm talking here, I am preparing to, okay, don't mind the crinkles for a second. I'm getting out, because for some reason, I'm just following my whims today. My whims want me to do a background on top of this page. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting these little, oh boy. I'm putting these just paper bags. These are also amazing. Like, just buy a pack of 100 of these. You will find so many uses for these things, including sketching random stuff. That's always fun. But I'm putting them behind so that the paint, I can go to the edge of the page, and it might still get on the opposite side of the page, but it won't get on like all of the pages. Let me just zoom out a hair. See the edges of the paint on my table. I need to like extend it so that I don't get that when I zoom out. But anyway, yeah. I hope that if you're still watching this, which would probably be a miracle, I hope that you are sitting at your art table. I hope that you're painting. You don't have to be doing what I'm doing, but personally, my favorite art channels on YouTube are the ones where this is kind of how it is. Like the person, and I haven't found many of them, so please tell me if you know of any more. But like the person's just doing their thing. It's not a tutorial necessarily. It's just more of a, this is me. This is what I'm doing. I'm relaxing. I'm breathing. I'm not, trying to feed the algorithm. I'm being myself. I'm leaning under, grabbing something under my table. There's like a little shelf under there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep talking about nonsense, but I'm going to put clear matte medium on this side of the page, and then I'm just really going to paint this side, because here's what happens. If you do acrylic on both sides of the page, those pages are going to stick together, and it's obnoxious, and it can really mess up your painting if you care about that. I mean, I could show you elsewhere in this book what I mean, but the pages stick together, it chips off the paint, and it's just annoying. And so if I just do matte medium on this side, I still did something on this side. I used a chalk marker, and which is activating a little bit as I put this matte medium on, and I kind of like that. But I'm not going to make this side part of the quote-unquote painting. I'm just going to let it have some color over here, and otherwise just leave it be. Because I'm just trying to avoid that pages sticking together phenomenon that in sketchbooks, it's like, it's a challenge. And I'm the type that I want to fill every page double-sided. That's just what I want to do. So I either have to decide like, oh, okay, well, I can't do acrylics on both sides, or I can't do oil pastels or even neocolors on both sides because it's going to bleed over. And then if I do and I don't want it to bleed, I have to seal it. Well, guess what? I've been down that path, and it's not as glamorous as you think. Personally, I am too busy to be outside spraying paintings and sealing them, so I don't do it. And I mean, if I was going to like sell something, I would seal it, of course, but I'm just talking about my stuff, and I don't sell my paintings, at least not yet. But like in a sketchbook, it's like I'm gonna take my sketchbooks and go seal them. I have done it, and I don't really want to do it ever again. So I'm not going to. And so I have to plan what I'm doing. Ooh, you know what? I just have an urge to like splash some water and see if anything happens. The paint, I don't think my paint it's too thick. I don't think the water is going to do anything, but you know what else you can do? And I don't have it right in front of me. Oh, I do have one. Okay, you can use alcohol on top of wet acrylic paint. If I had clear alcohol, actually that's what I would choose at this moment, but this is right in front of me. This is just hot pink. But alcohol, whoo, baby, it like eats the acrylic and makes a really cool type of pattern. And oh my gosh, it stinks so bad. So I don't really love I don't really love using alcohol inks, or I guess that's an alcohol ink. I'm just using raw umber now because I want a dark value in this painting, and I'm not sure if that's really what I want with the raw umber, but I may do this little basket here on the side has some really truly random colors in it, and I'm not necessarily super excited about what's there, but for the sake of not digging around and looking for the colors I really want, I'm just seeing if I can use what I have here and So that Prussian blue on top of the raw umber, it's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I kind of wish I had taped this down a bit because it's moving so much. Now I'm putting more raw umber on and seeing what happens. Sometimes this is just what I do when I paint. I'm really not trying to be impressive. I'm just playing around with colors and things and seeing what happens. And now, all of a sudden, I want to see what happens. Oh, yeah. See what happens if I dig into the paint. I need something to wipe that off on. I think I have blue shop towels under here. Yes, I do. Grab one of those. Usually I keep one on my table for things like this, and I just threw mine away the other day because it was so dirty. All right, so we got some silly little lines going. And the next thing I think I'll do is, I do want to get this other paintbrush clean. If you are painting with me, I want to know what you're up to. So leave a comment, let me know what you're working on. And since I'm on a roll with just rambling about random things, I think I'll talk a little bit about something that was on my mind. And that is the fact that, you know, I have told myself for so long that I need to pick a medium or a subject, and if I was going to like be consistent with YouTube, like, oh well, I better just do watercolor florals, or you know, niche myself basically. And that doesn't work for me. I'm looking for my gold. Gold watercolor. Where would you be? Oh, here. I like, that's dry enough. I like using gold watercolor on top of acrylic. It actually, I don't know, it works for me. Instead of gold acrylic, because it's too thick. And if you thin it down enough to where it's a good splatter, it just doesn't have the same effect. Anyway, so I'm using watercolor now. And what I was saying was about niching myself, and it's like, sure, that might be more marketable and target like a certain, be able to get an audience easier, just because like if you just do one thing, that's more relatable to most people that are looking for like that one thing. But I don't really think that's who I am. I think I'm really this mixed media, do whatever I feel like that day, acrylics, watercolor, oil pastels, and maybe that means no one will ever watch my videos. I don't know, but you know, I have to follow my heart, and if I just limited myself, I don't think that would be good. I don't think that would be good for anyone, really. Plus, I start to go a little crazy when I just try to do one thing. Like, even if I'm not doing it for YouTube, but if I'm doing, oh yeah, these splatters are exactly what this painting wants and needs. Look at that. So this looks kind of cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying not to splatter everywhere, but it's just so fun. I want to do it more. Now, so anyway, the whole idea is, this is just me, and I hope that someone out there enjoys it. Okay. That's really ridiculous looking, but there are elements of this that I really like, and I wouldn't consider this like page itself to be, I don't know what I would consider it to be, but I had fun, and I may come back to it, you know, I may do more to it, I may put little collage things on top. I'm not sure. Let me look and see before I end this video what I have in here. My little collage disaster. Because I kind of want to know, like, oh, that's cool. I mean, I can't really put it down because the paint is still wet. But what if there was something like graphic like that on the black, or, well, it's not black, but you know what I mean, the dark area. I think that would look super cute. And let me just say, when you let yourself play like this, and it doesn't need to be a finished product, this is where your style can start to really grow and show up. If you try to make every page in your sketchbook a finished product, your style won't be able to emerge because there will be no play if every page has to be perfect. Now that one I feel like is maybe too big, but what if what if? The what if is the question. This might be totally stupid, but it just came to me, so I'm going to do it. So yeah, that's how I found my style. I just kept doing silly things that came to my brain in my sketchbooks and elsewhere. Like, okay, that I don't like as much. So where's my other little heart dude? Here you are. Yeah, that works for me. I'm just going to glue this on here just like this. I'm not going to try to clean up the edges. I'm just going to glue it on. And for some reason, that's making me happy. So I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to set that aside so that I don't lose it in this crazy pile of craziness. What if I put like a yellow circle somewhere, you know? I don't know. Could I make this that? I think it's dry enough for me to just set it down. But what if I like I feel like in terms of composition, if I start putting stuff up here, doesn't really work. Not that I really care that much about that, but I'm just saying if I wanted to try to make this a little more finished in terms of composition, I would consider these things. What if I just overlap that? So that I kind of like this a little because what it does is it extends something to bring these two halves together, because to me it's like very like split apart the page. So that would kind of tie it together a little. I don't know if I like that or not, but it's fun. Actually, I would have to cut out, let's see, I'm going to cut out a piece of this. What if, I don't know if this is going to work, but what if I did like, I'm trying to look and see how wet that still is. I think I can put this down. Like, what if I did that? How ridiculous is this? I might just do it, because why not? Why not? Okay, I think I am done for now. I need to go work on cleaning my house, which I've neglected horribly over the last couple weeks. It's a long story, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back to life here. I was sick, and anyway. Oh, what if we like went really crazy and layered some, I don't know. All right, thanks for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful day and some wonderful painting time. And again, let me know what you're up to in the comments. Bye, guys.